Does she still bear his name? Does she still bear his name? I liken the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman. For I am jealous over you with godly jealousy. For I have espoused you to one husband, that I may present you as a chaste virgin to Christ. Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it. He gave himself for her, the woman. Upon the cross, he gave himself for her. And what of the woman? What about the woman? Now she is a widow without a name. She still bears his name. Or does she? So many years have rolled into centuries, rolled into millennia. Can he really expect her to bear his name this long? Her body bears visible mark of widowhood. Does she still bear his name? The woman is in a very poor and needy state. Before he departed, her husband had counseled her of this Laodicean state that she now finds herself in, claiming to be rich and increased with goods and have need of nothing, not realizing that she is wretched and miserable and poor and blind and naked, so conceited with an air about her that she is good and lacks nothing. I have the truth, she says. I am not like those other women. I worship on the true Sabbath. I have the gift of prophecy. I may not be perfect. She plugs that in for modesty. But I'm all right when compared. When compared to who? Since when is the gospel a fashion show where we measure ourselves by others on stage? So the woman is poor and blind and cannot see her nakedness. In some ways, she is blind as a convenient choice, seeing only what she wishes to see while turning a blind eye at everything else. Her husband has made great provisions for her to be sustained and empowered at his departure. Provisions which she is yet to tap into and access fully. So she is now a poor old widow. She is feeble in the world, often begging for the sympathy of the world, to consider her presence amidst the ever-changing decisions made around her. Her husband is gone. killed. She, no voice out in the public affairs of life. And to most people, she is downright irrelevant. At best, she is given the pitiful courtesy of respect by those closest to her. But she has no authority. Shamefully, not even in her own house. Her words now seen as no more than good advice for those so inclined. To console her, like a retired athlete, she is patted on the shoulder and told she had a good run back in her day, but must now give way for the new kid on the block, whoever that happens to be at any given time. She exists. She knows she exists. She moves around in the crowd but unnoticed. Nothing about her captures anyone's attention. But all is not so bad for her. She is accommodated where her skill can serve their interests. So she perks up at the invitation to join those in the spotlight for her 15 minutes of fame. She feels worthwhile again, that she could be called upon. It's short-lived and quickly forgotten. So she waits. Secretly, she yearns for the next opportunity to be flattered by the world around her. She tries, painstakingly tries, not to cause a stir anywhere. After all, why risk being made a public spectacle like her husband was? So she is satisfied with being in the shadows. She carries herself without the dignity befitting a woman of worth. She has a desire to blend into her surrounding, lest anyone recognizes that she is the same woman whose husband was killed. Truth be told, she's not that same woman. She hardly opens her mouth in public. Well, not for the host of things that does not immediately concern her. And whenever she does speak, she is apologetic for any and everything that she says about her husband. She is so self-absorbed that she is more interested in her self-preservation than in championing the cause of her husband, fearful of suffering the same fate. After all, it would be great if she can escape the humiliation of that fate, forgetting that it was for her that he suffered his fate. It's been so long since he has left. It's almost time for him to return. Yet she still wears the widow's clothes. She walks with her head drooped, her eyes to the ground, being very particular about her every step, more concerned about how she walks than where she is headed. And in this posture, she is unable to lift her head to see her redemption draws nigh. For he has promised that he will return, not for a widow, but for a bride, that he might present her to himself a glorious church, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but that she should be holy and without blemish. Does she still bear his name? Does she still bear his name?